You can create charts for Profiler, including a feature called Hot Quadrant. Let me show you. So we're now going to have a look at another option within Profiler, which is Profiler charting. Charting within Profiler is very similar to charting within tabulations. Simply go to the chart view and note what you're going to plot on the x-axis or the y-axis. And by default we have the target percentage and the index comparing target and context groups. We're adding the whole table for this example, but you can of course select individual columns. I'm going to come back to Hot Quadrant shading in a moment. So we'll simply click on Finish and it gives you a Profiler chart. Obviously if you're using a bigger screen this may look less messy. I have rather a lot of candidates on this particular chart. So just returning to the chart wizard, I'm going to include Shade Hot Quadrant. I'll leave the X and Y at 0 to demonstrate what we get. It's basically dividing the chart into quadrants. When you consider that the important data is the high index and a high target reach percentage, then this feature allows us to very clearly illustrate those characteristics. So I'm going to go back to the chart wizard and change the X and Y axis. First of all, the x-axis, we're looking at the target percentage. So if we want to say we're looking for characteristics that reach at least 60% of the target group, we can add in 60 there. With the y-axis, that's the index comparing target and context group. So I want to look at anything that's over the more likely value. So here we can quickly illustrate that our demographic profile for family life readers is that they're women, they're the main grocery buyers, and they're married or de facto. I'm going to go back to grid and just make some changes to what we put on that table. So we'll select where we have from 110 upwards with the index. And this time if I go to chart, it's a grid selection. We're using the same X and Y axes. And in X we'll say we want it to reach at least 50% of our target audience, and we're looking at a Y of 110. So this time you can see where we have everything within the greater than index, so anything over 110, and in this hot quadrant here we have the profile again. They are women, main grocery buyers and married de facto.